Hey kids, and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 3 as the United Kingdom. Last couple of episodes we've been pretty much sealing up the Mediterranean. The Italian fleet is pretty much obliterated thanks to our where'd they go? Oh yeah, we sent them back up. We sent them back up here, I think. Thanks to our naval bombers, who bombed the shit out of, I think it was Reggio de Calabria, destroying, I think, the vast majority of the Italian fleet that way, to be honest. Let's take a look and see. I have a feeling yeah, like, look at all that. We basically trapped their navy in Calabria and just sunk everything in port with the naval bombers. I almost feel a little bit guilty about doing this, to be honest, because I feel like it's a little bit of an exploit, but it's not totally unrealistic. Had the UK had a better bomber force in the Mediterranean prior to the Americans joining the war, it certainly would have been possible to neutralize the Italian fleet with air power, quite quickly. And as I briefly mentioned last episode, they did do that at Taranto. They really cut the Reggio Marina's power in half with a handful of outdated biplane carrier-borne aircraft. They were able to torpedo like 3 or 4 battleships, which was huge. Anyway, I have done a little bit of reorganization off screen. We now have Army Group Italy, which I made a while back. I have redone the leaders so that some of our best leaders are in important positions. So I've left Alexander at the head of the theater for now. If anything, he'll just provide a big supply boost. We also have Auchinleck at the Army Group level for Army Group Italy. This is the invasion force. The First Army, General Allenbrook is going to command the First Army. I have Slim commanding the Royal Marine Corps, the actual corps, because that corps will enter combat, so the Trickster skill will be useful. He's also a level 5 guy, so that'll give a decent boost. These are all kind of weak leaders. I haven't paid much attention to the actual division leaders, and I won't be doing that. It's too much micromanagement for too little benefit. I will be promoting guys as they get good, and trying to make sure that my best leaders are in combat situations. What else have we done? I have also reorganized all the stuff that we sent back to England here. I have reorganized into Army Group France, which we won't be touching for quite some time. This is an army that we'll be building over the next few years to eventually invade and liberate France. I have no plans of doing that anytime soon, but for the time being I've simply made these corps so that as things get built, these are going to be motorized corps. You can see I haven't put any particularly good... oh, this guy shouldn't be there. Haven't put any particularly good leaders in charge of these armies for now, because they're just not going to be used. I will reassign leaders off screen once again when we actually prepare the invasion of Northern Europe. And yeah, other than that, I've just sort of reattached a handful of units to various commands. So Army Group Italy now has Air Transport Command. I think I need to actually send that down to the Mediterranean for sure, because that's going to be used for the Gurkhas. The Landing Craft Squadron is attached to Army Group Italy because that's what we're going to use to invade them. And the 1st Tactical Air Force as well. I want to take a quick look at a couple things. I feel like it's a good time for us to sort of go through production and technology and stuff. I think in this episode what I'm going to be trying to do is advance the clock. I mean, hopefully in one episode I can get to the point where the Soviet Union joins the war, and that kind of opens a lot of doors for us. As soon as they join the war, we will be able to harass Germany in a lot more meaningful ways without kind of risking all that. Let's take a look at diplomacy quickly. Romania is drifting towards the Allies. To be honest, I think I might stop influencing them. I think they're far enough. I have no particular desire to bring them right into the Allies. I may start influencing them again if I feel like they are going to... what's their neutrality? Their neutrality 17%, but they can't join a faction. They're too far. I don't particularly want them to join my faction. I want Germany to be forced to invade them, basically. Oh, it looks like Bulgaria conquered Greece. This happens occasionally, so Bulgaria is now kind of a regional power. Not the end of the world. Okay, let's look at production. I've noticed that we do have, like right now I've canceled a whole bunch of convoys. I think I'm going to actually put a few convoys at the bottom of the queue. I think we have the IC. We're actually receiving Lend-Lease. We're receiving 20 IC in Lend-Lease, so I have no problem spending some of that Lend-Lease IC on convoys. I don't like to build convoys prior to the war because they don't build up any of your practical. So yeah, I will put some convoys in the queue. I also feel I can play a game without building any convoys as the UK. I know how to do that. I can micromanage all these convoys, and you can turn the resource ones off and then on again, and then you get all your resources, and like that's a bit of an exploit. For the time being, I have kind of in a tactical way manually canceled certain resource convoys that we don't really need. But I'd like to build the convoys, increase our convoy capacity, and leave the convoys on automatic, because otherwise it's just too easy. It's just too easy. I'm giving myself too much of an advantage. Let's see. So we have these air units are going to be distributed to the Mediterranean. I want a base. Ideally, I'd like to put one here, although I think I'm actually going to, in this episode, I'm going to invade Sardinia, and I'd like to use that as my Western Mediterranean air base. And that will provide air cover for fleets operating in the Mediterranean. I would also like to probably use this. This is probably the easiest one to use. I could put some fighters in Crete, but I don't think that that's going to. These air bases are not big enough, and I can't upgrade them. So I'm going to kind of try and spread out, see if we can cover off as much of the Mediterranean as possible with air bases. With air squadrons, or whatever you want to call them. Okay, that armor is finishing up. Rocket test site, just building up rocket practical. It's kind of a throwaway, to be honest, but whatever. This is going to be our third and final carrier group. It's under construction there, and that is going to probably be more than enough to equal and surpass Japan's navy. Keeping in mind, of course, that we will have America as an ally. So this is going to be our last anti-submarine squadron. So basically, I will probably not be researching or building any more navy beyond this point, unless I feel like we need to for kind of flavor reasons. We got a run of infrastructure in North Africa. This is all this area that we conquered when we took over Libya from Italy. And that's just going to provide at least one level of infrastructure to get supplies a little bit quicker to that army. I've built 10 radar stations in parallel for the purpose of building up radar in Singapore. Singapore is kind of like Malta, it's a strait. And yes, these garrisons are going to be for deployment in the Mediterranean so that we can free up some of those ports and deploy the full, all of our actually powerful units. We can deploy them in Italy once we invade. This is for the carrier group, and there's our convoys. I don't think there's anything else urgent to be built right now. Let's take a look at technology. We can put diplomacy to 0. We have no spies. I'm going to do that for a bit. I don't want to. I want to have espionage networks. I'm supposed to be putting spies in Germany and Italy, so I'm going to build up some spies and then increase the amount of spies that we are recruiting. This information is really valuable. Okay, is Germany building subs? Yeah, they're building more subs. Heavy armor, useless destroyers, and yeah, Italy is trying to rebuild the navy from scratch. It's not going to help them, but that's okay. But most of all, that espionage is providing. Look at all of the information we have on enemy territory, and these radar stations. You see just how epic the listening station is. I mean, you can see here that we actually could land troops and encircle a big part of this. Problem is that we'd probably have to run away again. You can do that as the UK. You can just like invade France, encircle some units, run away, do it again. If you do that too many times, though, you will break the Axis. You'll break them, and it's a bit. I find it a bit gamey because you're really kind of exploiting the invasion thing. Anyway, where was I? So that's that. Officers, we need to be putting probably about 5 points in. We need to keep this as high as possible. Get up to 140. Not building very many land units for the time being, but it will become necessary at a later point. In terms of tech, let's just go through here quickly and see if anything's missing. We're in December 1940. We can start to think about some 1941 techs. I'm not going to worry too much about keeping my armored cars up to date. The bonuses are just too small. We could research these to speed up our motorized infantry. You can see this just decreases the softness of motorized units, which is interesting. But not much, not a whole hell of a lot. If we decided to go with a mech build later, we could do that. Although I'm kind of doubtful that we're going to do that. I'm not going to research any more Navy here. I might do another run of light cruisers, but I doubt it. I think this is it. I think this is what we're going to stick with for the rest of the game. 1940 level techs. I think it's okay. We'll see. If we feel like it's going to drag on longer, let's put all the stuff in for 1941 techs here. That's not really all that necessary. I'll do it. I'll do it. Yep, I'm going to do all that. Not going to worry about these two. This is really important. I'm going to put that up to the top. This is adds +6 to surface, or yeah, another +6 to surface detection for naval bombers is huge. These are probably worthwhile as well, although I'm going to hold off on them until we feel like we're getting ahead of schedule on a number of things. That's useless. And this is not very useful. Yeah, this is not very useful, but that's already in there. That's good. Okay, let's put these 3 in. Again, there's the weird thing where defensiveness doesn't work, I believe. For toughness and defensiveness for aircraft doesn't work. I research them anyway. I feel like not researching these techs because they sort of don't work is a little bit broken because the AI is going to research them. And anyway, that's my line of reasoning. I get it if you don't want to. I'm not going to bother with any of these. We are just so flush with resources that we're fine. I don't see anything in here that I want to research. Let's try and make sure we have all the land stuff that we want. This is going to be important. We have a lot of motorized brigades. And now for naval techs, I'll put basing up top. Naval doctrines, I mean. We'll put basing up top because it takes a long time. Spotting's important. I'm not going to do any more cruiser techs. Our battle cruisers and heavy cruisers are going to become very unimportant. I'm not going to be using them against Japan. What I will do is these. Yep. That's up to date. This is probably worth doing. By the way, a little bit of trivia here. Escort convoy efficiency +5%. This tech is useless unless you use the escort convoy mission. It does not affect these guys. It does not make them more efficient. What it does is, do I have a unit I can use for that to demonstrate? Yeah, if I were to take this landing craft squadron, which you would never do, and I were to use the escort convoy mission, then I would get a better efficiency if they engaged on that mission. I don't use that mission. If you use that mission, I don't use that mission because that mission doesn't work very well. What happens when you do that mission is they'll take a convoy like this one going from Malta to wherever it's going, and they will, to the limit of their range, patrol the entire length of that. Now, the likelihood of them running into a submarine on the entire length of that is very, very low. So, I don't use that mission. I recommend you don't use that mission. If you're going to, you're better off using a move order or a patrol order. If you're hunting for subs, or if you're just protecting your convoys in general, patrolling and the static move order is going to do a lot better. So, as interesting as commerce defense is as a tech, as an idea, as vital as it was during the war in real life, I do not recommend researching that. So, with that in mind, I'm probably going to skip Battlefleet Concentration Doctrine. I'm going to go Destroyer Crew Training for sure, because destroyers are still part of our arsenal against submarines. These are always good. These are just always good. Even if we're fighting carriers, it's just going to increase the chance of us hitting valuable targets against the Japanese, and it's going to, and this is going to basically make us choose valuable targets more often. So yeah, that's what our naval doctrines are going to look like. Air doctrines. Now, I'm looking at our tech here, and I'm seeing that we actually have a lot of leeway. We have a lot of leeway. I'm only seeing 57 projects. We have 32 leadership. So it's going to be time to start getting some of the doctrines that we haven't been focusing on up to date. I'm thinking ground attack, these two. Logistical strike tactics is always good, yes. Airbase strike tactics I love. Do I want to put a point in that? Probably not. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. I don't use this. I don't really care about hitting enemy radar. I don't really care about hitting, you know, enemy rocket test sites or whatever. Unfortunate. This mission does not do all that much in the game. It does not have that big a function. Interdiction is just another kind of ground attack. You know what? I'll put a point in it. Interdiction and ground attack do the same thing, and so if you are short on leadership, I advise... God, this is turning into a tutorial video. If you're short on leadership, I advise picking one or the other, depending on which one you prefer. I like to do both if I can, because interdiction is basically like they're going to target units that are moving. Ground attack is attack units in this province. So you tend to use ground attack on a single province, and you tend to use interdiction over a wide area. I find that they're both useful. They behave differently, and it's kind of like the difference between a move order for a naval unit and a patrol order for a naval unit. It's kind of a similar distinction. Anyway, with that in mind, I'm also going to take this. This is just... I've deployed these all over the fucking place, which I don't quite know why I did, to be honest. I am going to take all of Army Group Italy. Actually, no, let's take the first army, because I don't want the Marines. The Marines, I want them to stay where they are. And I think Army Group Italy is here. Let's strategically redeploy them to... Oh, wait. No. We want a bigger port. So the biggest port is Tripoli. Strategically redeploy them there. It's going to leave these ports unguarded, but it ain't the end of the world. I think I recently redid the leaders here, so these guys have pretty low org. However, I am going to grab the landing craft squad. No, let's not do that yet. Maybe I'll wait until I have air units here. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm very, very, very soon going to proceed with the invasion there. We need to pay attention here. Okay, that's just air stuff. This is going to be based here as well. We are probably going to have run into some supply issues there. I believe we're building infrastructure all the way over to this province. Oh no, we're not. What's going on there? Oh, I see. I didn't really finish what I was doing there. Yeah, well, let's, Oh, I see. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. Oh, I did. Okay, I did. That's fine. It's just these three here. 1, 2. That's always worth putting more infrastructure in. In fact, we'll max out Tripoli because it looks like we're going to be having some... whatever. I'll look at that later if I need to cancel construction. It's going to drive me nuts, actually. Yeah, so let's do that. What else? Alexandria. Gonna have Air Force base there, so we will put that to the max. Any port or airfield that you're going to use kind of constantly throughout the campaign is just max out your infrastructure. It's going to affect your repair rate. I think I've mentioned that before. Ideally, we would like build up better infrastructure here because we are also shipping supplies. We're essentially selling supplies to Ethiopia. They probably don't have enough IC to produce to produce supplies for their units. Anyway, no big deal. Start thinking about putting some infrastructure here as well. We will see. We will see. Not a big priority. I'm not going to put that at the top of my list. Let's take a look at our practicals quickly. Sorry to do all this housekeeping on screen, but I haven't done any of this in a while on screen in the last few episodes, so I feel like it's good to kind of give you a state of the union, so to speak. Armor practical 7.7, I'm happy with that. Infantry practical 12.5. Yeah, we've got great practicals in pretty much everything we need. I mean, I say great, but I'm talking about great for, you know, for a country that's ultimately not building that much of an army. All of our naval practicals are fine. Especially this. This is awesome. Medium bomber practical is low. And kind of important. Let's build some more naval bombers. Put them at the bottom of the queue. No big rush, but that will give us enough practical for the rest of the campaign, I think. I don't really intend to build any more tactical bombers. I may. We'll see. They might become more useful when we're actually fighting Germany here. Really speed things up. But our main priority for air units is always going to be these multi-rolls, and then eventually maybe some more interceptors. Let's go. Let's advance. Let's go to speed 5. It's just an air battle. So we actually already have Lend-Lease. Yeah, we'll give them. That's just giving these Greenland and Iceland to the USA. Another armor division. I've named the corps in the Second Army as well. The Second Army is the one that's going to invade France. First Army is is our army for invading Italy. The Undeclared War. Rocket test site finished in London. Yeah, I don't mind having this in the queue because you see, like, the IC goes down to, once our practical goes up, the IC goes way down. And I didn't even look at this. Yeah, it'll speed up these techs, which I'll probably never use anyway. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, it speeds up like that tech. Well. Whatever. I stand by my decision to build a level 3 rocket test site in London. It's just not going to make a difference. We're still getting naval strikes, and we will continue to get naval strikes until I deploy those air forces. Nope. What's going on here? Nope. I'm not buying crude. We do not need it. There's another one. Just gotta keep an eye. This screen's pretty useful to keep an eye on our air forces. Yeesh. Just gonna make sure that we're not getting totally fucked here. I think we're fine. It's set on passive. Should be okay. Yeah. I think we're basically winning battles. Looks like Dowding's getting some experience too. I find it very, very difficult to get experience for interceptor stacks. You have to win. You gain experience by spending time in battle, and units tend to flee when they start taking org damage. So even if your air force is very strong, you don't get a lot of air experience because you're not spending like game hours in battle. It's a bit of a bug, to be honest. You know, I guess you could mod that and just multiply the amount of air experience you gain, but the easier way to gain air experience is with bombing, specifically ground attacks. Let's see here. We don't care about that. Oh, Winston Churchill's giving us jet engine theory decay and nuclear physics decay. As much as I like the idea, this is really cool. You can develop nukes pretty much earlier than anyone else as the UK. Because you have this, and you have it quite early on. I think you have it from 1936. So, if you want to have nukes in 1942 or 1943, you can probably pull it off. I am gonna put Beaverbrook in power. Lord Beaverbrook was Canadian, I think. He was from the colonies, just like me. So yeah, I see. It's probably gonna stretch our resources a bit, but whatever. We got tons. We just got tons. We've also somehow, I think we had an election. Shit, we don't have the leadership modifier. That's bad. I think I want dismal. No, let's keep the land intel for now, because we have pretty much destroyed Germany and Italy's navies. What can I do here? Supply throughput is good, arguably better than this, given our situation, but nah, I think we're going to go for more manpower. This is bad. I don't know why he's in power. We're going to put supply consumption. This is bad as well. We want cruiser because we're not building any capital ships. I'm going to do Bowhill, who's going to give us the naval engineering decay, because I'm going to stop researching naval stuff. So if I find that I urgently need better, like, cruisers or something, then I can get them a little bit faster. Let's go. Let's clean up the outliner bits. Everything looks like it's in pretty good shape. I don't see any fleets that are getting really badly mauled here. Look at that. Still trying to invade Malta. Bye-bye. I'm kind of glad they're still trying, because that's how we get more, that's how we're gonna get more, naval combat experience. Right, so we are flush with IC. I think the key thing to be building, to be honest, is more interceptors and planes. I'm a little bit remiss at the moment to build more land forces, because I want to make sure we get on top. We're starting to really catch up in terms of techs. We're starting to be able to research every tech that I want at this point, and not have a few key ones kind of falling behind. So considering that we have all the forces we need to do what I want to do in the Mediterranean theater, I'm going to not put land forces in the queue, and I'm going to put more air forces. So I think we're going to want a trio of Spitfires for use in Singapore. Speaking of, we might as well get this going. Where's... Oh, we already maxed out Singapore. Awesome. Sweet. What kind of airbase do we have there? Let's do that. Just in case. So there we go. We also will have to be building these at some point. Do I have all the kegs that I need for the existing stuff? I think we have here a... Yeah, okay, cool. I was going to rename all my carrier air groups off screen, but I forgot, so I'll do it another time. Looks like Germany is not trying to take Crete yet. Port strike in Benghazi. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Wait, that's not fine. That is not fine. We do not... Wait. Oh, yes, we do. Okay. Yes, we do. That's fine. I just gotta make sure that we actually have air units patrolling that. Okay. Western Mediterranean Air Command is complete. Attach them to the Mediterranean theater. I might make a sub command for all of our kind of defensive air units. Let's send them to Gibraltar. Always to Gibraltar first, so that we avoid flying over hostile territory. Of course, it takes them more org to get to their final destination, but they're not better off if they lose half their strength on the way there. Let's put them here for now, although that's going to create supply issues for sure. Okay, we've got a bunch of IC now, probably Lend-Lease. Holy shit. 29 for Lend-Lease, and just more IC in general. Okay. This is the Eastern Mediterranean group. Can never remember. It's like squadron, wing, group. There's the hierarchy is different for the UK and the United States, so I'm just going to call it command. Not that I'm trying to be super historical with that anyway. Mediterranean theater. Western Mediterranean Air Command. Come on. Why didn't you go? There you go. Alright. What's going on here? We got tons and tons and tons of IC to spare. What can I do? Yeah, I gotta think of something to build, huh? Maybe some more landing craft. We can send some landing craft out to the Pacific. We will not be getting assault ships until probably late next year. I think it's worth building more landing craft. Yep. What else? I'm very tempted to put this in. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I will push these lower down the queue if need be. Another thing I can do. Have I got superior firepower yet? No. Or late on that, but whatever. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to be building fifth brigades for every single one of our divisions. Certainly for this army, it will be. I'll probably fill it out. But what we can do in the meantime is upgrade these to... These are going to be motorized. Part of that motorized core there. These can go up to the top of the queue. Upgrades are great because they don't They don't dramatically increase the leadership demands on your army. And they make things more powerful and all that. I could also build a couple of self-propelled artillery for those. As soon as these reorg, well, they're out of fuel. Do I need to intervene here? Are you gonna... Probably should intervene because looks like the... Just have to detach them from that HQ. Be a real big hassle if we lose that. There we go. Sweet. Then we just reattach them to the fleet. Job done. Saves a lot of time to use those to sort of like put AI control over those fleets when we don't really need to be micromanaging every part. Looks like Germany finished building their new round of subs. But you can see right away the AI does a very good job of just sending things where they need to be to find them. Italy's unsuccessfully bombing Malta. I would like to get things rolling here with this invasion. I don't know whether we're going to be able to do it from here, to be honest. I think we've got to move these Marines back to Malta. Okay, let's slow this down a bit. Could grab Corsica too, although it's kind of very much in range of yeah, I want these guys to be fueled from do these guys have fuel now? A little bit. Alright. Oh, I want to go air intercepts, and I'm pretty happy with just using the entire range, to be honest. Although that's going to overlap, so we don't like that. Something like that. Probably take these provinces out. I'm not too worried about that overlapping. Something like that I'm liking the look of. Put them on passive so they don't use up all their strength. Passive continuous. These guys can be sent to the Eastern Med. They're going to be here. That's a very good air leader. Probably too good. Oof, yeah. Definitely not a bad thing to be sending out some more. They're getting hammered a bit, although not really. To be honest, I mean, this looks kind of bad, but it's just not. Port strike in Dover. It's fine. Oh. Just send out my landing craft and then do nothing. Did I not? That's frustrating. Where are my Marines? Let's fail it. Hearts of Iron 3. I attached them to Army Group Italy. Oof, I left them in Malta. Sweet. Thankfully, I'm not really on a tight schedule here. Just waiting for Russia to join the war. Which should happen soon-ish, in a few months, right? Thank you! I'm not even going to escort them. I might regret that, but nah. If these get attacked, the AI will send something out real fast. All right. You know what? I'm going to send these two there. Cancel that. Look at that. They're moving. Pin them down. Gulf of Tunis, they are getting bombed, but they probably won't. Yeah. Okay. We've got air cover. Yeah, it's not a bad thing that we're building more convoys. They're under attack. Now they're not under attack. Go there. And you can go... You can... No, you know what? This is stupid. Let's leave you there. Put you there. And then we can just do like this. Support attack. There we go. That puts Slim in charge. Cool. Very, very easy. Well, we've destroyed their navy. We can take whatever we want, to be honest. I'm going to want to garrison these 2 ports. As soon as I garrison these 2 ports, I can redeploy these Marines elsewhere in the Mediterranean. Might be useful to have yet another Marine Corps in the Pacific, but probably just not going to. Alright, that's done. Let's drop some more Marines. Oof. I'm not really liking this. Yeah, let's not. Let's not say we did. Send these back to Malta for repair. Got lots of guys here. We're probably going to run out of supply, to be honest. We probably deployed too many. That will also, if you look at Italy's air bases, that will also, what are there, 2 air bases on this? No, there's just that one, but yeah, that will really reduce their air forces. Just detach the Marine Corps for now. Not that it makes a big difference. Yeah, they had all of 1 division there. Italy does not fare very well in this game. Very, very interesting country to play. A lot of fun to play Italy. Italy is like you're like the junior UK, and you're much more vulnerable, and your navy is not as big and not as powerful, but very fun to play. I think I will at some point do an Italian Let's Play. I think that'd be a lot of fun. If you do too, put it in the comments. Not anytime soon though. I'm gonna do one country at a time. Well, I say not anytime soon. I mean, you know, not until this one's done. Let's say, and I feel like we're in for a good 20 episodes. I have no idea, to be honest. But I'm looking at how many months we're covering off in each episode, and I'm trying to cover off, you know, around 6 months per episode. Some episodes are longer and shorter depending on how much kind of housekeeping I do and stuff. That's perfect. Our garrisons are finishing just as we finish this little miniature invasion here. I'm just gonna send those guys all down there. As soon as I've garrisoned it, I'll move the Western Mediterranean Air Command. Sorry, I'll move it to that airbase. I'd much rather supply my own planes than have the French supply them, to be honest. Okay, this guy here. Be very aggressive. I mean, passive stance, but aggressive range for sure. So there's only a little gap here. There's a little gap here that's not covered, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So at this point, I'm going to go back to speed 5. still having things sunk. I need to set up transports. Second transport fleet. It's supposed to be in the Mediterranean anyway. I'll check something here. Okay, we're covering that. Good, so we won't get port struck. It's really important when you play as the UK to pay close attention to where your, whether your air patrols need to cover your naval bases. It's super important. Otherwise, you'll have like a very valuable landing craft squadron just sitting in port and getting slammed. All right, Cagliari. Garrison. I usually do this like renaming off screen, but whatever. We'll attach that to Mediterranean Theater. And this guy is going to be the Olbia Garrison. Okay. Is the landing craft squad in there? No. I'm going to send I'm going to put a garrison in Tunis. It's a high level port. I don't want the Italians landing there if they somehow manage to. Sometimes they'll send like paratroopers, and that sucks. That's a real hassle. It's just they can kind of sneak up on you. This is probably not strictly necessary, but just peace of mind. Where else? Some of the more valuable ports here. Maybe these two. 1, 2. Looks good to me. Tripoli. Tripoli garrison. Mediterranean Theater. And this is what? Tobruk? Benghazi. Benghazi garrison. Attach it to the Mediterranean Theater. There we go. Still losing a fair number of convoys. How long until our convoys finish? Not long. April. Alright. Awesome. Don't think we didn't sink anything there, but we deorged it all, so it'll be back, fortunately. Of course, our shitty subs are actually sinking stuff as well. I'm glad I put them in use. They're getting hit here. Let's take you. Pick up those Marines. Probably bring them back to Malta, to be honest. Royal Marine Corps. Let's put them in Alexandria. Or in Tripoli, sorry. And I'm going to reattach that corps to Army Group Italy. Everything I need, okay, everything I need is in place. We can now take the, where are you? Right, so we can now take this and put it in, how big is this port? Yeesh. Yeah, we can do it. Let's take this and we'll use the reserve order. It'll give us a little bit more air range. Now I can actually be careful not to overlap. So what I'd like to cover off is something like this. And any port provinces here. Oh god, that's a naval strike. Air intercepts passive, looking good to me. Yeah, that looks great. So yeah, once again, it's these two ports here. This is not a good situation, having that port kind of undefended. It's almost worth... Let's do that. Let's build up the airbase into Brook, so that we can maybe move these guys there. We'll see. It's also useful for us to have patrols over here, so we'll see. But it might be better to have one in Tobruk and one in whatever this is here, Lemozos. All right, our radar stations for Singapore are done. Half of them anyway. We are going to need to put some more stuff in the queue soon. Maybe some more light cruisers. Handful more light cruisers never hurts. Need to have some sort of spares. How are we doing on carriers? Also put some carrier groups in the queue soon. There's the rest of our radar stations in Singapore. Question is where should I build more radar, because it's always good to have radar. Always good to have radar. We could put radar here. That's not very useful. We could put radar here. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, it's gonna take too long if I do it that way. Let's do it this way. At this point, building 10 parallel radar stations costs us 12.96 IC, because we have 14.2 electronic engineering practical, which also affects techs like... not like that one. It's the one I'm looking at, the one I was thinking of was this guy here. Oh no, it doesn't, practical doesn't affect it. Shit. That's a shame. So I guess essentially it just helps us with this tech, really. And any other techs that use electrical engineering. Huh, that's a shame. Anyway, not a big deal. Radar's great. I like radar. I'm gonna build more. Yeah, we could also put one here. That would be useful. Yeah, if I put one here, I can get a view of the entire Bay of Biscay. Let's do it. This is a little bit gratuitous. It's not strictly necessary, but 12 IC is just not going to make a difference. It's at this point. How long does it take for us to build them? Like 2 months, 3 months. It's nothing. It's nothing. We can spam radar all we want now. Now our naval bases are taking a bit of a hit, but we've got full air coverage now. We've got air coverage really where we need it, and that's great. Take a look at yeah, we will be doing better soon. Yeah, good idea. It was a good idea to expand that. Oh, we've got an airbase there. Fuck. Still, I like that location better, to be honest. But I'm gonna move them there. I'm gonna move them there for now. Money for crude? No. I don't want to have to deploy any more Air Force in. No. Let's reserve. And we'll reserve again. Save the org. Some people consider this an exploit, moving air units using the reserve order. I do not. Essentially, if you want to move air units halfway across the map, you gotta spend all your org. If you do not, oh, I need air intercept. If you want to move them one air base at a time and kind of micromanage it, then you can save your organization, and I think that's fine. I think that's perfectly reasonable. There we go. There we go. This is a little bit better. I do want air coverage here, though, eventually. So, yeah, because we're going to get bombed. We're going to get bombed over here. For sure. I guarantee you there's naval bombers there. Of course, we can also take that airbase, but then they'll just operate out of Athens. It's so tempting to just land something here and encircle all this. God, there's a lot. They have a lot in Greece. Yeah, that's something to keep in mind. That may be something we do at some point. Anyway, waiting for the Soviets to declare war. Awesome. Kill, kill, kill. Awesome. This is what I like to see. This is what I like to see. I wonder if the coastal command that I had attached here is doing anything. No order. I suspect that they are not being given orders, to be honest. Whatever. Not the end of the world. They really serve their purpose, to be honest. I'm liking this. I'm liking the look of things. Sorry, there's not much more going on in this episode, but that's the nature of the nature of the game. Not every episode is going to be full of exciting stuff, and this is not a let's play where I particularly want to kind of skip ahead and not show you guys stuff. I feel like if you play this game a lot and you're interested in watching this let's play, you probably want to see what's going on. You'll probably want to see choices I make when I'm not actually, you know, in full-scale invasion mode. And I wouldn't blame anyone if you skip ahead. And you know, skip a whole episode, do whatever you want, skip back and forth, you know, watch the part of the campaign you're most interested in. That does not bother me at all. I have no issue whatsoever. Okay, this red hatching means that they're not getting enough. Yeah. That's weird. Where is the supply coming from? So we actually, this is one of the things that happens when you pop out all these countries, is you end up sending supply all the way across their territory. What I really care about, though, to be honest, we are supplying, yeah, what I really care about is this road here. Rangoon, yeah. Rangoon has level 4 airbase. It'd be nice to get some, multi-rolls maybe here. A level 1 airbase there. It'd be nice to increase the infrastructure here. Kind of creating a road. I may or may not defend this area. You know what? This is a bad idea. I'm just giving airbase. Well, I guess I already built it, huh? What's the infrastructure situation here? Ooh, I can't defend that. Oh, can I though? Yeah, I've got a bunch. I thought I only had like 2 divisions. Let's see what we can do there. Can they encircle us if we do that? Probably. This was a bad idea. I don't know why I built that, to be honest. I might want to send some of those Marines up there. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just giving them an airbase, to be honest. Fuck that. I'll take it and use it later. Probably what I'm going to be doing is, when we end up at war with Siam and Japan and all that, probably going to try and hold that river. Or I might pop at Siam. If I pop at Siam, that's usually a kind of a classic UK move, in which case we'll sort of hold this river. It's not worth, generally not worth, moving a bunch of troops into China and Indochina until much later. We may attack Japan itself before we actually start fucking around in China. Interesting. Ground attack. They're definitely hitting us with everything they have. Italy is storming our beach. We intercepted them. We're going to deorg them. They're going to run away. Oh, we've got battleships in the battle now. We're getting a positioning penalty because they're overstacking because the AI sucks. Interesting. They're still attacking. Okay, we need to intervene here. There we go. Sunk the Italian Navy again. How is my, what's my convoy situation here? Did I finish those ones out that were in the queue? Pretty much. Yeah. Money for crude, nope. Let's test it out actually. Let's go back into production here and automate resource convoys. We'll get a big boost of resources. Awesome! Another sub dead. Yeah, so we have, looks like we have enough convoys, just barely though, eh? Looks like we have enough convoys for now, for what our needs. Maybe I'll put some more in the queue. Another 5. We will continue to lose them for the rest of the game. But, yeah. Other thing you can do is you can just build convoys in serial for the duration of the game, but I find as the UK, if you start building convoys from the beginning of the campaign, you end up using up oh shit. Oh, I was not paying attention. I bet you one of you has got to have been seeing that. I just wasted about 4 months of research. Yeah. So much for catching up on research, huh? Let's do this. Well, it's not the end of the world. God, I always do that. You know, I max out one thing to get my spies back or whatever, and then completely forget about it. Well, sorry about that. That's a pretty big blooper, to be honest. But you know what? It's not gonna make that big a difference. It's not gonna make that big a difference. And we won't be putting, I probably won't put any more into espionage like for the rest of the game, to be honest. If only to avoid that stupid mistake. There's another, that is our anti-submarine squadron done. So I'm gonna give it, oops, let's give it one Colossus class, or Centaur class escort carrier. There we are. Whatever. We can attach you to... I think the home fleet's got... Let's attach to the home fleet. Yeah, because at the end of the day, Germany's going to probably build more subs than Italy. Italy's not going to be around for too long. Spoilers. When it gets really exciting as the UK is about the end of this year. Once we're fighting a war on 3 fronts, or at least 2 fronts at a time, it will get interesting, for sure. Rocket test site. There we go. That's no more rocket test sites for the rest of the game. I'd like to have another multi-role squadron for the Pacific. We must be getting awfully close to, we must be getting, ooh, okay, let's start influencing Romania again, prevent them from joining the Axis. We need to go here and do that. What was I gonna say? I don't know, lost it. Anyway, it'll get more interesting. It'll get more interesting once we do some invasions. Striking Malta, yeah. What was that? Are they at war now? Oh, they are. Sweet. Awesome. So that's that. Germany is at war with the Soviet Union. So in the next episode, we are going to invade. We're going to invade Sicily. I might make a little battle plan off screen or something, and we're going to invade. We're going to invade Sicily, We are going to establish a line in Italy and force Germany to... We're going to force them to be defending all over the place. They're going to have to defend here, they're going to have to defend here, they're going to have to defend here. We are going to stretch their resources to the maximum. And then as soon as we've got that established, probably... I've been building all this kind of rubbish. I know it's not completely rubbish. Everything we're building here is useful in one way or another. But I will be basically very aggressively building up this army, and we will invade Germany as soon as possible. We may be, you know, D-Day may happen in 1942 or 1943. Probably more likely, I'm thinking 1943. I could do it in 1942 if I wanted, but I don't think I'll have enough. But yeah, we're going to go on the offensive within the next 6 months and increasingly aggressively. So, if you enjoy these videos, please like the video, press the like button, press the subscribe button if you want to see more. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Ciao.